Wow, check that out. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. I woke up this morning, worked out, took my life by storm. Hope you're doing well. We put that lemon, a little bit of lemon squeeze. Come on, get it in there. Nothing left, really. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's get to drinking water. Let's stay hydrated. Let's stay ready to go. Let's break it down for you like we do every single day. Let's bring that music back up and running. Let's keep it moving. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. So here we go. We're going to break it down like we do every single day. Bitcoin in a precarious situation. I went long, but right now the long trade is down. So the lifer's down. What's going to happen? Let's find out. Let's break it down like we do every single day here for Bitcoin. Bitty Bitcoin. Okay. And as you can see, shout out to our sponsors, ITrust Capital. Okay. Where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. All right. ITrust Capital is amazing. All right. Once XRP was out there, it had more XRP deposits. I mean, that became their most prized possession. So they are such a community for crypto. I really like ITrust Capital, and they support the team and support my whole crew. So shout out to ITrust Capital. God bless each and every one of you for being here, and thank you for jumping on in. So first thing we're going to break down is Bitcoin like we do. So if you remember correctly and you were watching me, I was talking about this being the major resistance for Bitcoin. We saw the shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder that I talked about in the morning. Okay? We also broke down, if you were on my channel yesterday, a 5-minute flag. All right? That I decided, hey, let's take a shot on it. I remember it right here because I got this pattern brain. But I found this with a measured move to the upside. And I'm all about the moving averages. Once this 5-minute decided to flip the 200 SMA, use it as support, there was a chance we got the bounce. Tight moving averages. Remember this. If you learn anything from my live stream today, remember tight moving averages and use 5 MAs. Put the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200 together. You have yourself a SMA ribbon, very similar to an EMA ribbon, okay, for Bitcoin. That rode us all the way to the upside. I kept putting out little trades on the 30-second chart, all right? And every single flag that I drew throughout the day really was playing out till we finally got the high. And it was interesting, you know? Like this flag eventually broke out. Then it made a little flag here. And it just kept grinding. Then we drew this. I drew this like downward little, you know? Boom. Even this little flag eventually broke out. Every little flag that I was drawing, then we looped down. I eventually drew this as an ascending triangle with a measured move. And it was telling me, hey, I believe we could get somewhere, I don't know, up to almost 26.8, you know? And we got to 26,799, 26,806 or something. We did this dolphin dip loop up and then came up. And then here I was like, I believe that's the high for the day. And it's funny, we nailed it. It was the high for the day. I remember texting Master Friend, my buddy. I was like, man, I believe we've breached. Anyway, so it's just kind of how I use small time frames to track price action when it gets crazy. You know, and that's just a little lesson there. I don't know did anyone get anything from that? Let me know if you got a lot out of that right there. I just want to see. I want to see because sometimes people say, you know, they get more out of things that I didn't think about, or they get less out of things that I thought they got more out. And I don't know. So I like to always kind of ask the crowd, see what's happening out there in the cryptoverse, baby. Since last night, but it's not going anywhere. Smash the like button. Dolphin what? Dolphin dip. Send in your super chats for TA and deep dive on your altcoins. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. The Andy stream was awesome. Shout out to Rockton Road. God bless you. Yeah, that guy, Bitcoin, Andy, Big Consensus, just such a nice person. I know nice people. My mom raised me really well. I had good people in my life my whole life. I've been surrounded by nice and good people. You know, it's interesting. Because it looks so nice and easy, I was like, they're probably going to dip it to the downside, you know? That's what my instinct told me to wait on the trade. Like, I opened a trade, my instinct told me to wait on it, you know? But I like the TA. The TA said, but you're oversold in multiple time frames. Now, if we lose this, we're going to head lower, and then it's kind of a bear trap, right? And we could look at this possibly, I guess, like a rising wedge. That's breaking to the downside. Rising wedges like to break down to where they began. That's the one thing I will do, and I have worked on in my life, is I'll be in a trade, but I'll be able to counter my trade with the TA. you know. Even if I may be long, I'll say, hey, it's likely we go to the downside. And you're like, how did he do that? Because, you know, I trade my way no matter what. And if you take a L, you take a L. Now, we haven't been stopped out yet. And actually, it's a very small loss. I could switch it if I'd like, you know. We could still say it's a possibly falling wedge here that could still bring us to the upside, right? So just keep you prepared for both situations. And we're going to deep dive this. And we're not done yet. So shout out to everybody here. I suggest you stick with me because I'm about to figure out where Bitcoin is likely going to go. And it's going to take me about 10 to 20 minutes. And I believe we're going to nail it. So I'm excited. First thing what I do is I go to Bitcoin USDT on Binance. Most liquidity, that's where I love to trade, right? I've been watching this too, the same idea here on Binance. What I do now is I delete all my old work. Done. Okay? I take away the moving averages. Done. I double click. I go to the weekly, even the monthly, and I look at monthly support for Bitcoin. All right? We can see we clearly have a massive line here for monthly support. You can also click these, hit settings, right? I believe I might have a template, weekly support, but I can hit text, hit monthly support. All right. After I do that, hit OK. I want it on the bottom. Would like it in the center though, so I can see it. Right. And then I like the italics. And then what I can do too is once I get that, save as. Actually, before you save as, copy it. I like to do the least amount of work when I'm doing digital work. Paste it. There you go. So you don't have to write the name. And now we have monthly and weekly support, right? So you go to the monthly and set your monthly support. Set our monthly resistance. Oh, I forgot because I'm using Alt. Yeah. Alt J and Alt H both do the same thing. One gives you a label. Alt J gives you the label on the right. Alt H does not. So that's why I do that. So you go to your settings again. Up. Make sure you're not clicking the black. Hit the template, hit monthly support, right? So, and now we can clearly see where monthly support exists. And another cool thing you now can do is hit control and then just drag out. And that way you won't even have to do what I just did again. Control will be your friend. Once you do something you like, use control to continually grab whatever you want. Now, monthly support's kind of on price action there. Quick way to fix this, right? Go to settings. Hit this one. Flip it to maybe left. Or is it too far? Left ain't bad. Flip it to right, I guess. You'd be like, oh no. But watch, delete both of these. I was a video editor, so I learned how to, grab control again. Right? Boom. Grab control again. Boom. And now we're back in business. Anyway, so here we go. Working fast with the charts is fun. So if we lose this level at 26,000, right, we're likely to drop down to 23K, right? That's just what the monthly says. So I just want to make that clear for everybody here, all right? And it technically, you could say it's a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. And they break down to kind of where they began. Some say it began there. And so you would test this level here possibly at 20,563, the other monthly support zone. So you got 1, 2, 3 levels on the monthly till you would test the bottom again. All right? Bang, bada-doom, bada-doom. Let's head on into the weekly. Even I like the 2-week chart too. I use the 2-week a lot. Now the 2-week overbought on the stochastics RSI, right? Usually, I have seen massive pumps from there, but we've had our time for the pump. We never truly got it. So what it tells me is that, we got to be careful. And it's likely we do get somewhat of the 2-week stochastics are saying to us that we're going to get a bit of a pullback. Whether we do or not is the question, but they're saying that we're going to get a bit of a pullback. Sorry about the ticker being off there. And again, nothing I say and do today should be called as financial advice or taken as financial advice. Everything, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Okay? So here we are, right? And again, we've also talked about the shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. That would have a measured move to the downside. The neckline to the head, right? And that would bring you somewhere further down here, right? And you would be testing that exact level, 20,005, 20,600. So I have my eyes there. I have orders down here now at 20,005, from 19.5 really all the way up to 21,800, right? And if we get to 23K, whatever, I'll reassess. But if we go lower, I am buying those areas for Bitcoin because they're key monthly support zones, okay? Now you can see they change a little bit because candles change on the weekly and the monthly and the daily, all right? But you can see the 2-week support is the same as that monthly. It just adjusts a little bit differently here, all right? 2-week stochastics tell me it's time for the chickens to come home to roost. MACD as well. You're just getting falling volume with falling price. Tell me, where are the sellers? Where are the sellers to sell us all the way back down here? I don't see it, but it could happen. I mean, we got a major sell-off there with very low volume. So, but again, volume is very, very low. All right, that's the one thing in the, it's not the best for the bulls, but it's in some favor because there's lack of momentum in either direction for the bears. The weekly, and remember, that 2-week can get pinned. So it's not the most accurate where it's at. It can get pinned. And I've seen that. We've backtested that theory on the channel before. The stochastics RSI is what I'm talking about. Now here we look at the stochastics RSI, and look, it's coming down on the weekly. It wants to cross that dotted line, but usually more pain can come. Right here we do have tweezer bottoms. Last time we had tweezer bottoms, big move. 2 wicks, big move. 2 wicks, a big move. So if we can close the weekly candle really above this support zone, not close a weekly below these lows, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to close below the weekly low. So for me, once I've identified the monthly support, like, I can always go back and see it. I might make a key level, but to me, it can get in the way a little bit. Because I'm like, the weekly to me is where it's at. It's very accurate. It works very well. Too many people don't use the weekly. And again, when I'm a beginner trader, I didn't use the bigger time frames enough. I really didn't. I started using bigger time frames as I started, as I began to become a better trader. And as I had more time in the market. I wasn't in the market for 2-3 years. Like, the weekly didn't mean anything to me because I didn't understand. Like, I hadn't been inside the market for that time, right? It's kind of like when you give your life to the market, the charts make more sense to you because you can remember where you were in the chart. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that day where I tried the long and we went, or I remember when I nailed that long and everyone thought we were going down and I hit it, like this cup and handle we called there in the 16, the gap up in the VRVP. Some of it isn't rocket science. If you do that, it's almost like, you know what it's like? Trading is very similar to the guy that hits the winning shot. He sits at practice just, right? That's like me. I might just trade a flag over and over again, and trade a flag over and over again, and trade a flag, and trade a flag, and trade a flag, right? And then one flag I might hit might be the biggest trade of my life. Like, it might get me into one of the biggest, And so by just being consistent and doing the same thing, so a guy sits there and he learns that same shot, learns that same shot, right? And then he's in the game, there's 1 second left, and he hits the winning shot, and everyone's like, oh, but he's just been taking that same shot. At that one point in time, it ends up being the greatest thing ever, and there's a lot of leverage there. But it's the same thing the guy's been doing over and over and over again. Similar strategy to trading, okay? Very similar strategy, all right? Be the greatest to the grace, the earth, BBY. Shout out to BG, shout out to Rin Tin Tin, shout out to Drain the Swamp. Shout out to D Shuffle, shout out to Hunches, shout out to Lakochi Coker, shout out to Kobe Parr, shout out to Aussie Star. Shout out to everybody here on the live, D Shuffle, Crypto Surfer. Shout out to Harris Jod. Can you give me your thoughts on JASMY and SEI? We'll take a look at those. Give me a second as we follow through with the show. I appreciate that, though. Bitcoin taking a bit of a chunk to the downside here, getting a nat. It's funny, man. In my mind, I saw the dump, but I didn't, I played the stochastics. We'll see, though. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. So weekly, bouncing here. Let's take a look at the 3-day chart. I don't really use these other ones. The 3-day really gives me the gimmies. Now, what I've been interested in is the 3-day has this hidden bullish divergence. Now, that could be, if we just drop, it gets negated. So it's not amazing, but it has to be recognized. And most people wouldn't see it. This low is lower than this low. So you have a higher low. So you have this low is lower than this low, right? So one higher low, but this low is lower. So you have a higher low on price, but a lower low on the RSI. That should be coupled with low stochastics below the dotted line if it's going to be a strong signal. In what I do see is I see the stochastics below the dotted line. It is a strong signal. So, hey, and there's a chance that we do consolidate like so here. No guarantees. I just like to be open-minded. But there's a chance that we consolidate like so, bounce up to the channel, go up and down here, and we stay in some chop. And to be awesome, it would get us to November where things really start to heat up. November 10th and 12th, and boom. And honestly, September's pretty lackluster, in my humble opinion. It can even be treacherous. Wouldn't be surprised if we went up, we went up, we went up. In September, we crashed all down from 30K all the way back down to 26. And look, that would literally be September 1st all the way to the end of September. And then October is a great month. We'd come up, we'd get tight, have some up and downs, and then November has been notoriously known into December before the halving as a pretty interesting time, in my humble opinion. That's where I begin to load up on altcoins hard. I believe that's like the last chance to get like the real bags for me personally. But again, anything may change, but that's what I'm projecting for myself. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just explaining what I believe is possible, right? And yeah. All right. So this is hidden bullish divergence. It could save us. All right. It's a big deal. Remember, it's all about the 200 SMA. Price needs to get back above it on the smaller time frames, and that leaks into the bigger ones. This daily has to reclaim the 200. The stochastic suggests we can. The RSI on that daily hasn't been that low since we basically capitulated there and there. And honestly, it's even lower than the SBF dump, if you can believe it. So to me, it tells me that there's a good chance that we are finding some type of divergence bottom. And look, the hidden bullish divergence is very apparent on the daily. And honestly, this is the strongest signal that I've ever traded. It's been 90% accurate to me. It tells me to long right here and just let it rip to the upside, as Bitcoin dumps horribly to the downside right now. All right. Okay. So, moving forward. Energy, right? These pills, man, a couple more days on these pills and I'm done. One more week on the doxycycline and then I am off, But good thing is today's my first day off of the pills. A couple of them that I had to take, so it's been a wild ride to say the least, Anyway, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm kicking it. And honestly, we still made gains. We're going to talk about the gains that we made in the trading group too as well. So shout out to everybody that made gains last night. It's been pretty awesome. So hidden bullish divergence on the daily for Bitcoin. I just want to point this out. I haven't seen anybody really bring it up. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers though and TA, so there you have it, okay? And the daily looking really strong. Interesting, right? Take a look at our 4 hour. Our 4 hour is horrible. And the 4 hours is what worries me the most. And I woke up this morning saying, the small time frames look good, but the 4 hour could just end the party. And it looks like it is doing that. Just dumping down today, losing this look. This is my trade was right here. Right? We were trying to basically trade this flag and this node. You lose the node, you drop down to the next node. And there's a gap in the VRVP there, and that's exactly what happened. Interesting enough, I don't like to trade my feelings or my emotions. But my emotions said not to trade. They said there's going to be a drop. It's funny. I said it looks too easy. They're going to drop the price, And look what happened. So I still took the trade anyway because I like the setup. You get it? So The key is you're supposed to lose trades if you're a good trader, because that means you're trading a lot. And if you're trading, or not, you don't have to overtrade, but you're trading your cycle over and over again. For instance, if I didn't trade my cycle, I would have missed all the gains that I made. So you got to trade the cycle, in my humble opinion. So it was, I guess you could call it, at one point it was a symmetrical triangle. And in my mind, symmetrical triangles do break down more than they break to the upside. Chubby triangles, right? Looked a little sleeker to me though when I was looking at it on the morning. Kind of had more of a bull pennant feel to me, right? Here's the deal now. We don't want to break this key level of resistance that we made, and it looks like we're doing it already, which is crazy. So anyone who put a stop loss in this area, be safe, get hit. So I'll lose the trade. Let's see. Yeah, 34 bucks on 59 too, so I'm down, My stop loss is very close to getting hit right there. Hasn't been hit yet. Chance we could bounce off this resistance. See, resistance. We could use that as support and get our bounce back up. So I'll hold and see where it goes, But there it is. You don't win every trade, all right? Guaranteed to lose, but probably gives you the edge to win more than you lose. Sam, do you ever use trailing stop losses? We got a symmetrical triangle over here. I know, right? Stop loss hunt for the noobs. Yeah, they went right after that easy area. Definitely did. But there's times where that would rip to the upside. So you never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Like, that could have been up huge. You never know what's going to happen. Every trade is different than the last trade, 21 was a little far away from the moving averages, but we still, had that moment in time. There's a chance we get caught here by the 100-day moving average, and we pump, there's a chance this kind of goes up and down and maybe makes a bigger consolidation. We don't know yet for sure. Let me go to the smaller time frames to break it down. So the symmetrical triangle broke to the downside for Bitcoin. And what I don't want to see is I don't want it back inside this. I don't want it back in here. You do not want to break back inside of this falling wedge. It's just not a good look for Bitcoin at all. It's really crucial we hold this POC here at 20,055. Get a bounce back to the upside. Let's take a look at what the fixed volume profile says right here. So, yeah, coming back to the point of control would be a really good place to possibly get ourselves a bit of a bounce here. If we break that, it does suggest that we just go right back down here to 25.8, and then if we lose that, to the bottom of the channel. So, take profits at the volume area high. So we hit the low value, bounce, came up to the high volume area. However, there was a chance we could have still bounced to the upside. You know what I mean? That's not the end all. Had that node been broken and we stayed above it, boom. We had some smooth sail move there. Look how big the gap was. That gap will get filled at one point. It will be a nice wild ride to the upside, right? Also, didn't risk a lot in the trade because I wanted to see kind of where the trade would go. So at least, I have a stop loss. I'll lose maybe 30, 40 bucks and we'll move on. Had it made it way out, came up again, then we could have added to the trade and made it a bigger trade. And so that's kind of, I always start with a smaller position, see how the trade goes, and I like to build into the trade if the trade goes well. That way, if the trade doesn't go well, man. And right there, I could have reversed it, right? But again, I'm live streaming too and going over the charts. So this is like the little flag I was looking at. This was technically the trade. Still hasn't been stopped out. Chance it could bounce back up or make some type of falling wedge here and still make gains. You never know. Has it, look at Adam and Eve sideways. You see Adam and Eve sideways, Adam and Eve. Anyway, so Bitcoin, bitty Bitcoin, loses the bottom trend line to the downside, takes out the stop losses. BOOKMAP also had a little more liquidity in both sides, all right? Bullocks were headed higher. 29.5 coming up soon. Got some buyers. Fake out before the breakout. Interesting. Ooh, look at those sells. Yeah, but this, look, what you want to see, though, is, look, resistance, whipped, resistance, bounce up. We could use this as a nice support zone for a bounce back to the upside. There's a good chance we can. We just don't want, you don't want to break back inside the pattern. We break back inside the pattern, it's Bear City, right? And how do we figure that out? Well, we start just shrinking ourselves into littler time frames. And what we want to see is that V-shaped recovery here. And now we want to see some divergence too. If we don't get the divergence, it could be a chance that we go lower. The 1 minute doesn't have any div. 30-second, just a little bit here. A little bit of div as that swings up in that, but it doesn't look amazing. 5 minute has a class C, as that's a sharp swing down, and that's barely a swing down. So you got a little bit of div there, but it's like a stretch. It's not clean div. This also, look, that's your swing low to that swing low. It's sharp downtrend. It's a class C bullish hit. It's a class C bullish divergence. It could be. It looks somewhat V-shaped recovery-esque, right? As they just grab the stops, come right back up. But it does have this Adam and Eve feel to me that could bring us lower, right? And that's why I switched to the smaller time frames now, and I want to see if we're going to make some type of bear flag. And if we continue in a bear flag, then there's a chance this goes lower. We could switch short and make gains. So far, it is respecting the previous resistance, which is okay. And it's my yellow line that I made support, and if we lose this, it's likely we drop further down to 25.923. All right. So we're at a crucial area now. We watch the 1 minute to see what it does. And what's our next level of resistance? I mean, it's clearly this support that we fell from 26,200. So you got to get back above that level to remain even slightly bullish. All right. So this is, look, a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder broke to the downside. It's interesting. You can almost call it a complex shoulder. Alt J gives price label. This is a pennant. There are buyers here, so let's see how much they got. You're saying Alt H does give price label. Mine is just turned off. Probably. It could be the case. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Jackson Hole today expecting volatility. I thought Jackson Hole was tomorrow. Isn't it tomorrow, man? You know what I mean? Yeah, well, we're going to have... I mean, this is the issue, too. All right? Jewel Light really low. Interesting. Full Moon Wednesday. Looks bouncy. Was expecting one more dip to around 26.1 and a rebound. There are buyers here, so let's see how much they got. Alt H. We're going to take a look at Powell Speaks tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Jackson Hole Day. Yeah, where Powell will speak. Yeah, I was pretty sure about that. Anyway, so check it out. Yesterday on the live stream, had you watched me, all right, Bitcoin on the edge, I think this was it. I was showing you live LPT. It had bounced off the golden pocket on the Fibonacci, broke out. I don't buy breakouts, but if I see something break out on the daily, I said to my students to look for flags on the smaller time frame. I gave you the flag right here, drew it, and even showed you how the trade would likely go. It would go sideways, touch the 21-day moving average, and make a move to the upside. Let's see exactly what happened. If we go back in time and we see this was me, and that's why I project flags so I can see trades before they happen and just kind of watch them play out. I want to see stochastics reset. I want to see the 21 come up. I want to see price action interact with the 21-day moving average. And that's when I know when the stochastics get low that there's a good entry for a possible move to the upside. But I project this before it even happens. I watch it play out and then bang. And my trading group's like, how? I see these things before they happen, and I've done it hundreds of thousands, probably 1,000 times or more in my life. This exact type of move. Now, you're also getting a golden cross there. You front run that. There's a chance this continues to the upside. And you check your daily. And if the daily's still in an uptrend, which it is to me, a beautiful uptrend. So I identified a daily uptrend. I identified a 21 crossing the 200 SMA. I identified a Fibonacci retracement down to the 618. I identified lack of bearish momentum in the MACD and a low stochastic oversold. Okay? And bang. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, we got a huge move to the upside for LPT. All right? Now, you want to continue or you miss the move? Same scenario. For me, I project the flag yet again. I wait for the 21 to come in contact, and if that happens again and the stochastics reset, there's likelihood I can get a continuation move to the upside, and then I swing my alert somewhere into the middle of the flag where I believe the 21 will touch, and I don't have to watch this. I just get alerted. Then I check the alert, and I go in, and I find this a very simple, beautiful way to trade, and this is my special sauce in a nutshell. You know what I mean? So, and this way you plan out the whole trade, and you only take trades that do the plan. Like if this just went straight down or did something different, then you don't play it. But if it plays the flag, then you take it. In this way, you only take the plan that you created. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. You grow, I grow. Casper, ready to bounce. Bacon. My guess is there's a big seller here. Huge seller. But he'll wait till tomorrow or go now. I got BOOKMAP loaded up. We're going to take a look at what's happening to BOOKMAP. All right. And shout out to everybody here on the live. I appreciate you all for coming on in. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the 483 beautiful souls in the live. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Tomorrow's going to be a travel day for me. Tonight, I will not do the weekly screen share. It's the last day with my mom. I leave her house tomorrow night on like a 9 o'clock boat or something like that. So I will not be able to. So, you know, my last night, I went back. Oh, I'll be upstairs for 3 hours, Ma. You know. And it could be the last time I ever see her. You never know. Considering I lost my father recently. So if you guys could, you know, it always seems to be Thursday night. I don't know. I'm always traveling Fridays. I was traveling last Friday. But what we'll do is we'll do the screen share Saturday morning. Okay? Saturday morning. So yesterday's longs are liquidated. Bounce back soon. V-shape recovery on the 14-minute. Trying to trap us. Let's go. Here's a chance. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see what it's doing. BOOKMAP is a heat map order book. All right? I'm affiliated with them. If you hit that link below, you will give me a commission. I'd appreciate it if you buy BOOKMAP. It's awesome. What it does is it shows us where the liquidity lies and what's happening in the liquidity zones. Okay? And always good to spend time with your family. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. What will the new mask mandates in lockdown? Oh, man. Don't do that here, man. We'll do that on Twitter, but not here. All right? I appreciate you, though, and I know you mean well. God bless you. Love is the strongest frequency. At the right time, when we go over it all, it'll make sense. You know what I mean? Anyway. All right. So BOOKMAP moving smoothly. And we kind of have orders on either end. We had that big order up there, but we decided not to challenge the $27,000 area. All right. It's about $26,850, right? If we had a bet, there's just a little more liquidity to the downside than to the upside. A little more, right? There's this big yellow area. You don't have that here. So you kind of you have these big orders on either end, which is like 26.7 and 26.5, which they've kind of been there for the last couple days, just kind of saddling price action, right? But it does suggest you could go lower to 25,550 and load up on the zone, right? So Bitcoin basically starting the day at 26,300 and getting a drop to 26,100, a $200 loss to the downside there, and just kind of going sideways, all right? Giving up the pennant that it could have broken up on the 1 hour, and the 4 hour putting pressure, in my opinion, on the smaller time frames, all right? Just the way I trade. So my super didn't get answered. Have to get back to work. No worries. We put it up on a link, and they're time-stamped. So all you have to do is come back in 5 or 10 minutes. And yeah, I'm also not your slave, right? You can't whip me into submission. You know, I appreciate you, but, you know, God bless you, brother. Can you do Bitcoin price prediction for the next bull run? That's a lot. We could try to do that a bit. Give me your thoughts on JASMY and SEI. We'll take a look at JASMY and SEI for you since you're at work, and I don't want you stressing out at work. All right. Chance we still get a bounce here off the resistance. All right. Did I get stopped out? I did not get stopped out of the trade. Still in the trade. I still have a chance to win, baby. I still have a chance to win. It's not over yet. And I could show you guys a winning trade. Let's see what happens. You never know. Unlikely now. Look at the 1 hour. Oh, actually, look, the 1 hour is doing an inverted head and shoulder now with the divergence. See, so this is what we were looking for, is a swing up and a swing down on price action. And let's take a look at the liquidations here on BOOKMAP. They will be smaller Thursday with Jackson Hole tomorrow, meaning Howell's going to speak tomorrow. It's usually price action stays pretty flat. I'm even surprised we got the move we got to the downside, right? I just want to see these liquidations and see what's happening. And right here on the liquidation level, yeah, we got that liquidation there. Now, you see more liquidity right here, but it's more sustainable up here. Like, they're going to be able to drag it to 26,200. You see that? There's just more orders to, like, if you were driving on a road and you needed more bricks, they've laid more road to drive, right? They've laid a nice road here, but then it kind of gets too thin. This is nice, thick road all the way up to 26.2. Also gives you the cumulative volume delta, right? Delta is a plus or minus of anything. So if you're counting cards, you would have a delta of 7, right, or 2, right? If you had one face card and then one non-face card, or two face cards and one non, right? And then you'd be at 1. The delta of 1. It's just cumulative volume delta. And there's more shorts than longs at negative price action. Should I consider flipping short on Bitcoin trade? Entry at 26,380. Thank you, Sam. I mean, it's possible. Right? You got to do whatever makes you happy, right? I just keep my trades. I either get stopped out or I win the trade. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, I'll close the trade somewhat early. You know, if I feel like there's going to be a bigger drop on the smaller time frame. But that's what your question is getting answered by technical analysis, not by me. You get it? Sit into your TA and you'll find out. Like right now, we have a major resistance at 2189, 26,189. If we can't get back above that, expect more downside for sure, right? Definitely. But there's making kind of a shoulder, a head, possible right shoulder here. We'll see what goes on. We finally got a bit of divergence, which wasn't amazing, but we got something, right? But there's still a chance this makes a bear flag and we continue to the downside. The next stop is going to be 25,928. And it sucks being wrong on your live stream. It's not fun. You know what I mean? But it's going to happen. It's going to happen if you trade every day of your life. Should I consider flipping short on Bitcoin? You know, there's days where I'm going to be wrong. All right. I'm not 100%. I wish I was. I wish every single day I hit every single trade. I tend to hit a lot, so. I'm new to the channel, haven't done super class. You should definitely do the super class, man. Clipper Lever gains on Heinz in 3 and Heinz in 4 for the scalp of the day, baby. PS5, man. God bless you for jumping on in. Thank you for jumping in and getting those gains, right? So we'll watch to see if this divergence can hold this. If we break the low, then, you know. And maybe we just consolidate into a bear flag and continue to the downside. This is where the small time frames really matter. This is where it's good to get acclimated with the 7, the 1 minute. You know, you don't have to even trade the smaller time frames, but you can use them to get confirmation of a move. All right. And LPT is definitely worth watching for a bigger move today to the upside. If anything continues, LPT has that momentum on the daily to continue. Token Metrics also likes to tote it. So you got a lot of people looking at it and thinking about it. Live peer, LPT, right? Bitcoin going for the possible sweep at 25.8 to grab the longs. I mean, there's a chance they have a big bar of liquidity down here. 26,000 and then 25,850. Now it's getting a little separated. And I mean, as we said before, you definitely have more liquidity down here than up here. Look at how thick it is if you just zoom out. A lot of days I would just zoom out and see the glob. Way bigger globs down here than up there. Says you go lower, right? Second you flick short, I'll flip short, and then what will happen, you know? I meant super chat. LOL, there is a super class. I wouldn't mind a low XRP price for a bag grab. You're going to get wrecked shorting XRP. What's your monthly dry cleaning bill, if you don't mind me asking? I spend close to $65 a week. Honestly, I use LAPELS, all right? LAPELS is unbelievable. All right, number one. I'll be honest. I make enough money that I don't know my monthly dry cleaning bill, man. I don't know it. You know what I mean? I don't look at my bank account, man. I don't stress my bank account like that. That sounds crazy, right? I just work so hard every single day, man, and I just know at the end of the month there's just going to be piles of money there. I know that sounds insane, right? But that's my mentality. Like, I don't even look at it. So I don't know. I don't know what my monthly dry cleaning bill is. All right? They are awesome, though. If anyone wants dry cleaning, I really have so much to say about LAPELS. Number one, they say they're sustainable or whatever, which is great. You know what I mean? Sustainable dry cleaning. But that's not why I like them the most. I mean, that's awesome. But what they do is they pick up your clothes if you live within like a 5-mile radius. All right? And I get a text from them every, I believe, Monday night and every Wednesday night. And they pick up on Tuesdays, or I think every Sunday night and every Wednesday night. They pick up on Mondays and Thursdays. And so I'll get a text from LAPELS and it will say, do you need a pickup? And I'll just write yes. And then that morning when I wake up, I'll have an orange bag with my stuff on it, and I put it on the front door. And 3 days later, my clothes are delivered right back on my door handle, nice and neat, at like 8 or 9 in the morning, you know? And so I never have to go to the location, and they bill me. I have a card on file, and they just bill the card. And the receipts are there, but I just rip them off and throw them out. You know what I mean? So I'm sure I'd spend about a few $100 a month, but I don't know. My wife pays all those bills, so I don't know. My wife handles all the stuff, like she handles that stuff, you know. So that is an inverted head and shoulder that should break to the upside, technically. Let's see the fun here. And these are called reversal patterns. This is why you look at small time frames, you know. Shoulder, head, and a shoulder. And yeah, lady does all the smart stuff here too, you know. Bitcoin dump through the fib. I'm the same way, wifey got it. I mean, I handle all the finances, don't get me wrong. Like, I make all the big decisions and, like, I manage the money. You know what I mean? But she does the day-to-day. Like, you know what I mean? She tells me how much the business made. She handles all the customers. Like, she does all that stuff. I do money management. We do real estate together, though. We do real estate together. Shorting Bitcoin to zero. Hope you good. God bless you, bro. I got to learn candle wick structure together with 200 SVMA, VRVP, RSI for trading levels with the 99. Constant knowledge in the trades, man. I love it, man. I love it. Another boring day. Perhaps tomorrow will be 3,000 again. My ex and I were like that, lifer. Sorry to hear that, man. Why'd you guys end up being the ex? It sounded like you had something good going. Right? And look, now the trade bouncing back somewhat. That's why you do not panic sell. You look for divergence. And I just stay in the trade if I have to, you know. It is what it is, baby. Right? Always have a stop loss and know what you're willing to risk. Monday's the day I joined. Tired of losing. Jump on in, baby. Jump on in. All right? And Bitcoin battling these levels, right? To me, because there's such a big bar of liquidity up here, it might just come up, grab it, and then take the dump at 26,000, 26,800. Now, where is 26,800? Why is that important? Let's see. Like, because sometimes I'll look at the chart and it'll be a coincidence. I'll be like, oh, that's a key level, right? I mean, honestly, I believe it was just the measured move of the symmetrical triangle. You know, it's funny. I kind of see it more like a symmetrical now than see, that's 26,861. So, kind of a Bart Simpson feel, you know. Sammy's made me golden, bro. I love his streams, man. Shout out to Yohanito Zivahila, man. God bless you, brother. I hope I said your name right. Yohanito Zivisla. August before halving is brutal. So far, it's looking bad. I can't see any reason to buy. I told everybody that the last week of August into September is usually a bloodbath. Maybe it won't be this year. You never know, but it usually is a bloodbath. Move up, move right back down to the downside possibly. You know what I mean? Take out the lows, All the stop losses down here that thought they got nice. A lot of times we get a loan near the wick. Said that with Andy yesterday. Definitely go and watch the show with Andy from Bit Consensus. Great, awesome time together. I think it was really awesome. I feel like I found a cheat code. Shout out to Felix Smart, my man. Hey, good morning, Sam, and everyone in the chat. Wishing everyone a blessed day. Enjoy. There's a 786 at 28. Let's take a look. We can pull a fib from here. And there is a 786 right there at 26,017 on my end there. And it almost looks like we hit it to the T. We got very close. Let's see where. And honestly, if you take the fib from here, from swing high to come down to that low, technically we hit an 886. Or I guess if you take that first little niche right there, it's the 786 Fibonacci level. And you can see how we bounced 0.5, lost it. And that is a good place for reversal. There's a chance we do reversal. Hey, Sam, the Bible says honor your mother and father. Key to a long-lasting life and more. Never apologies for being with mom. Much respect. Renzo Garcia, God bless you, man. If not, ask the gym to run the camos back. Was it an iPad? You guys are funny talking about. Someone's got a gym iPad stolen in a gym I'm picking up. I found the life or family you already stopped losing, brother. You are not alone with us. Plenty of freebies to keep you busy. Welcome home. Shout out to Crypto Man. God bless you, brother. I left them a nice 786 liquidation. Gotta keep the market makers fed. You're funny. We are battling this level, and to me, it's all about the smaller time frames. They're going to tell us if we go lower. Right now, that is kind of a bear flag. You see it? Even get rid of this. And it looks like I will likely be stopped out. That looks like that will continue lower to the downside. There is a reverse button, which and you can just go here and you can hit the reverse, right? I've never done it. What do I do it live, right? Did it reverse? So it reverses the trade to a short immediately. And then just see if I can get back the money I lost and then call it a day for the trade, right? Crazy, right? To do that live. Make a quick 3%, funny. But I like to stay with my conviction, honestly. It's very rare for me to use the reverse button. I wanted to show you the reverse button. I thought about it this morning. I'm like, they might think that's cool. It costs you the difference. Yeah, it would, yeah. It burned me twice. LOL. It probably won't work out. Watch it. It's just going to rip the other way. Watch. You know what I mean? Anybody who joins the live or group, do your own TA. And if you agree, take the trade. Amen. Is it possible we hit 24/7 resistance and then back to 24K? I love you, brother. 50 MA is still far apart on the daily, but below on the weekly. Yeah, I had an account with 0 in the reverse. Lesson learned hard. I had an account with 0 on the reverse. Lesson learned hard the second time. Interesting. Hey, man, when you're free, can you check your Discord after stream? I left you a video. Wonder if it's suitable to post the testimonial in your Discord. Yeah, I think you can, man. I think I saw what it was saying a little bit. I couldn't figure it out exactly, but it looked correct, I mean, you got a double bottom here now. That's a reversal pattern. And you're hitting that support zone. But you made a new resistance at 26,195, right? You should have held waiting a couple days for the trade. I'll re-enter. I still have the trade open on another long. I have the long opened on another place, so I'm kind of hedging. I still have the long open on another position. So I have now I'm basically long short right now. I did once at a crazy wick day. It hit almost perfect. Never did it again. Maybe one day. Yeah. That's a bit of a double bottom there for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what's happening to the bigger market. And technically, still wasn't stopped out. Let's see what happens. I like to keep that on record and see what happens if the trade had stayed. Watching for that 14-minute close above the 200 SMA. Don't forget what the Apple logo stands for. The first Apple computer was sold for $666. You're funny, man. I did once a crazy wig there, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's take a look here at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. right, let's see the daily. The weekly. So remember, so key, why it looks confusing, but let's break it down. We went up, we came down. We went up, we came down. If we can bounce here back to the upside, right, there's a chance that we turn it into this sideways consolidation, and we could break out of that. If we lose this level and we fall down, then it's a falling wedge that's that could continue to fall down before we break up to lower places. So I just keep these two lines here to remind me that if we don't hold that level, we could definitely, we'll have some trouble. But right now on the weekly, we're hugging this tiny higher low, and there's a chance it could hold. There's a chance it could hold. The Stochastics are coming for a curve too, as well. 4 hours pin for BNB. Looks like some more downside. Hey. Wow, what does that mean? Oh, I love you. That's the one thing I can guarantee. Bitcoin will go up and down, yeah. Hey, Sam, how do you do the vert alerts on the mobile app? I believe you just hit a vert, you find the vertical line. You know what I mean? Like, pretty simple. Just hit the vertical line and then right-click the vertical line. So here, you would hit the pen, right? Keep looking for it. Eventually, you'll find the vertical line. Like right here, vertical line. Hit it. Click where you want to put the vertical line. And click on the vertical line. Hit the 3 bars here. And add alert on the vertical line. Create. I just did it on my phone. Pretty simple. Anyway, all right. Make sense? All right. Shout out to the baby lifer. How do you do the vertical line? Felix Smart. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Shout out to Justin Cashmore in the house with the 3377s. He's one of the members holding me down. So if we lose 1.02 trillion, we're going to fall to 979. If we lose 979, we down to 914, 914 to 846. So levels to watch on the total market cap for Bitcoin. And I told you how crucial this is. We may be making a falling wedge. We may be making a symmetrical triangle. We desperately need the bounce. If we can get a weekly close above 1.068 trillion, that's going to be our first step. That's going to be our next major resistance where these 2 weekly candles close right there. So right now we're holding us down for the double bottom back to the upside. And it kind of has a W going. That W would break us back to the upside. That is a double bottom with a slightly higher low, which is a good sign. It's a bullish reversal pattern. If we take our emotions out of it and just look at it for what it is, it's a bullish reversal pattern. However, if we make bear flags in the smaller time frames, if we lose this and bearishly retest, I would short the market to the downside. All right. Bitcoin just bearishly retested there, and it's looking pretty bearish. Look, shoulder, head, and a right shoulder there now. That's a head and shoulder pattern that usually breaks you to the downside, does it not? And would head lower. Sam the man with the plan. His TA's handy as his cup in handy. Shout out to Chaos Trading, my man. Long time ago, we did this funny challenges of guessing a number and a color or animal, stuff like that. It reminded me. It was so funny. Thank you. Speaking of Apple, lifers vibrate higher, baby. Who was dumb enough to hold the bag at end of summer? You're funny, man. Sam, I hope your short goes positive. Hey, you never know. It may be in positive already, is it? Nah, $3. Funny. You never know, man. I've also been taking medication recently, so I haven't been trading as hard until I get off the meds, man. You know, and it's not a mental medication, but it's doxycycline, and it gets in my head, man. And I feel drowsy in the afternoons. Just not as easy to be myself, man. It's been like 2.5 weeks of taking the same thing every day. And, yeah. So, I find the nights are better. Like last night, I had some clarity, and I was ripping through the charts, having a blast, you know. But anything that affects you, how you feel, your body, right, affects how you trade, period, right? And sometimes knowing yourself and knowing when to chill is that's like a big step in trading, right? So 26,090 holding. Now we're kind of saddled. 26.8 and 25. They don't want to give us much information. They stole that liquidity down there. At the end of the day, if we shrink it down and just look, there's more liquidity here than there is up here. If we just bet on BOOKMAP, which we've done many, many times, it suggests that our shorts will play out to the downside here that I did switch on. And I mean, that's a head and shoulder pattern right there. You got a shoulder, you got a head, you got, I mean, that's a, and they're more like descending triangles anyway. Just like inverted head and shoulders or ascending triangles, you know, same thing. You got a slight divergence, though, that's pretty, as this is ripping up and you're getting the higher lows, it could be the rounded, our way to round on out. Interesting. Unless Do Kwon gets his hands on billions, we're headed down. Sam, look up Dr. Ken Berry. Eating plants is everyone's issue for bad health. Dr. Ken Berry. Interesting. Unless Do Kwon, you're funny. Just DC'd into AGIX 17 and DMTR again as it was running yesterday. My man, making those moves, bro. So Bitcoin challenging the low. We watched the 1 minute. And then Thursday afternoon, price action gets, by 1 o'clock today, the price action gets pretty flat. I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 times we're going to get flat price action by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight. Ken Berry is cool, man. Thank you very much, GF Burke, for saying that. I don't know who he is, but I appreciate you. So I'll look it up, man. My man, GF Burke in the house. The Bridge Network. What was I looking at here? Oh, that maybe would pump up to like the 200 SMA on the daily or something. Yeah, like this thing, I was like, what if it eventually just pumps up all the way up to that 200 SMA? And bridges the gap, I said to myself. I put a lot of trades out in the trading group last night. A lot of things that I'm looking at. Pay attention to those. Document them. Put them in an Excel spreadsheet. Set the alerts that I set, right? Just like LPT. You know, stay focused. This one looks like the best trade for the day, possibly. We have our projection just like yesterday. This may happen. The trade, I believe, would present itself somewhere by 5 to 6 o'clock tonight. Maybe somewhere between 4 and 8. You know, I don't know when exactly, but somewhere in there. You know. You're going live to Palace Beach? No, I cannot. That's like my last day here on the island, and I have to pack. I'll probably be packing up my stuff during that speech, so one day we'll not be able to do the live Palace Beach. Maybe. I don't know, but I don't believe so. Highly unlikely. Because it's my last day here, and I'm going to have to pack up my stuff. Yeah, I'll be packing the car and stuff. I'll end my stream, and I have a boat at 8 at night, and I got to be with the kids. And carnivore diet helped me so much after having my stroke and arthritis in joints. I'm happy to hear that. Sam, done already yesterday. He should get Natoshi for amazing TA as well as collab with BitBoy, Crypto, and Frankie. It'll be insane. It'll be screen share tonight. Screen share has to be moved to Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings will be the screen share. All right. Saturday mornings. All right. So there's our total market cap and ideas to watch, right, for key levels for the entire market cap. Let's take a look at ES1 as the S&P getting hammered, and then we'll look at the DXY as well and just kind of see what's happening on the back end. S&P actually getting bullish on the weekly, getting ready for a reversal. See how the weekly's touching the 21 SMA? That's usually a time where, you know, after you pump and you come back to that 21, like right here you had a huge pump. Here you fell through, but once you get back above, you're gone. It's somewhat of a bullish sign. You know, it's showing signs of the beginning of a bull run. You had the far moving average in the weekly, then they get close together. On the weekly, that's usually when you get a massive move to the upside. So, again, I know the whole world's like freaking out and there's all these emotions and news out there, but the charts tell me that the S&P is going to make a big move on the weekly back to the upside possibly. And it's even got like a slight hidden bullish because that's pretty flat. That low to that low is pretty, you know, and it's substantially an uptrend. I'll tell you, in my lifetime, that is a Class B hidden bullish divergence. Like, you know, it's almost an exaggerated hidden bullish, if you mean it, because one of them is flat. Whenever one of them is flat, I call it exaggerated. Now, that's breaking the rules, but that's just kind of how I look at it. Exaggerated is supposed to be when price is flat in the RSI, but... So let's take a look at here. Remember, we had to get back inside this pattern. It was so important like 2 days ago. And we talked about it. And we said, listen. And remember, I even drew this, look, inverted head and shoulder. Could we break back up? And we had this kind of rising wedge. And it was sketchy. And I said, man, if the S&P breaks down here, we're going to get a breakdown all the way to 42.82. I said, we got to get back inside this trend line. We came up, we hit it, and then we boom to the top of the channel. Very bullish sign for the S&P, all right? And that's why I love TA. Like, we knew that if we lost this level, it would be a great short for the market to the downside. And if you got to the bounce off this level, you'd get a long back up. So the S&P showing signs of love, and I'm excited for that. They don't have to be extremely correlated. It's just when the people make money in the stock market, especially in risk-on assets, they're more likely to be risky, right? So they're going to go, they're going to go after basically Bitcoin more. They're more apt to buy Bitcoin if they're making tons of money in Tesla. You know what I mean? It just goes, to me, it goes hand in hand. So, but it looks like we kind of broke out of this. I'm trying to make sense of these patterns. But it does look like we broke out, and now we're breaking back inside the pattern again. So, like, we bear trapped here, we bull trapped there. S&P, you know. We could attempt to make it like a widening wedge, I guess. Babe, are you cleaning? Are you cleaning? I'm really sensitive to smells. And my wife's like using bleach or something right now. Sorry. It's getting me lightheaded. Anyway, so I guess we could call this a broadening falling wedge, you know. Makes kind of sense to me. We did hit it there. We wicked to it. We almost got there. But we could also say, no, this was it, and we broke out. We're attempting to retest, or we're back inside the pattern. Yeah, it's a little messy. I'll give it to you. I like the idea that we left and came back in just because this line is so sharp and defined. Like the bounce, 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 bounce. Fell, retest, right? Bounce. Came back inside the pattern. So now we look at like the daily on the S&P, and what is it saying to us? I also had a fib drawn there, and you could almost say you just retraced all the way back. But you could draw a fib somewhere lower too, like from here, and it looks like a 786 fib retracement. Like right to the 786 on a wick too, and a bounce back to the upside, which is very, very, a traditional move, a traditional trading move. Really, we see a lot. So we could be retesting, technically on the bigger time frame. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. The daily's still over, like got momentum to the upside. The 4 hour says no way. The 4 hour wants to dump. So that kind of stinks, man. The 4 hour looks whack. I don't like when the stochastics are pointing down like that aggressively. 9 out of 10 times, you're going to get a dump to the downside. So I would watch this 4 hour. It suggests that we go lower, you know. And yeah, I guess I have no choice but to open this up because that gives us our frame where we could stop the pain here. So it looks like the S&P wants to drop down to 42.97. It's not over then it could break on out. It's not the end of the world. But it does, to me, look, I mean, that 4 hour, it looks like it wants to crash on you. So, the 1 hour wants a bit of a bounce. We will see if it makes a flag. So, if you want to know what's going to happen to price action, again, back to the smaller time frames, just begin to project flags. You know, and there's a chance we just V-shape recovery. But if we go sideways here, touch the 21, you know you're going lower. If you don't, then, so the flag just gives you a little more of an edge of what's going to happen. If you don't have the flag, then you won't be able to fill it out. And if you can't fill it out, you can't tell the probability of the next move. Now, you may not make the flag. You may just break back up. But if it does that, then you know you're not making the bear flag and you don't prepare for the downside. So it keeps you from focusing on things you don't need to focus on. And it helps you focus on things you do need to focus on. And that's why I love projecting the flag. And that's why it works for me. All right. Recommending book of the day, Market Wizards by Jack Schwager. Thank you for saying that. Book of the day, everyone. Market Wizards by Jack Schwager. I never read it, but I trust the lifer here, Crypto Plumber, and God is Love. These two guys are amazing. And, God is Love said Market Wizards. And love the smell of bleach, which means a clean house. Yeah. Baked USDT, making a nice scalping move. My man, you're all over those small coins. I love it. I love it. That's the way, man. That's the wow. So beautiful resistance. Broke back above it. Should have traditionally bounced. Didn't do it. Now it wants to try to hit this level. We know if it loses, it's going to fall further down to the downside, right? That trade still hasn't been stopped out as the stop loss is at 25,951. We have yet to break 26,000. The low of this candle, which you can hover on and find out, is 26,660, 2674, 26,667. Thank you for the book recommendation. Shout out to the 500 people on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. 550 people at one point, 517 now, 262 likes on the live. Maybe get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. All right. LPT looks the most likely to make some gains later on today. Again, you do whatever makes you happy. All right. I don't know the company. They didn't force me to say that. I'm just a TA guy, and that's what my TA says. So, likely to fall lower here the way these moving averages are curving to the downside. All right. Bitcoin long or short? Technically, right now, we are still short Bitcoin. And I'll show you why here on the Binance chart on the 1 minute. We're watching this flag on the smaller time frame here. And it's got some descending triangle vibes, which is a bearish signal. It did a nice divergence here, but it couldn't even break the high of the divergence. That usually tells you the divergence wasn't strong enough. So, I was in a long that I did switch short. And we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. I'm still in another long, which I may have to switch short now. To be smart, you know. But I'm hedging both ways now, so I'm like, my one long's on this screen, the other long's over here on MEXC. I'm trading on MEXC futures, okay? MEXC, to me, is my favorite place to trade, and I'll tell you why, all right? And I trade there all the time, every single day. I'm mainly a spot trader, I will tell you. I'm not a huge leverage trader. I'm a spot trader. I take big gains off the market over time. Like Caspa, I made over $10,000 trading Caspa, and I showed you guys how to do it. On and off, 2 different trades, like, you know. So, 2 longs or a long and a short lifer. A long and a short. I've never done 2 longs and a short. That would be kind of crazy, no? So, MEXC is the place to be. Jump into MEXC today. I'm telling you right now, it'll blow your mind. All right? Stay blessed. Trade MEXC, baby. All right? And what I'll do is I'll pin the message there for you so you can have access. I would like that if I was on a live stream and I wanted to support the dude and I was all about it and they made it super easy by just being able to click on the comments, I would be like, this is where it's at. So, I do that because I do what I think would help me, you know. What the heck? Something's going on here. Hold on. All right. BenCoin V2 coming out in September. Airdrop in V2 to current wallet holders of Ben. Dropping supply big time. See, that's the thing though. I hold my Ben on MEXC. So am I going to get airdropped by Ben, or am I going to have to switch it to Uniswap? Pay a bunch of fees just to move it around. You know? Right. Again, I don't have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I'm just giving you the probability. That's a descending triangle now. It hasn't been able to get above the previous high. It's likely to continue to the downside. The 4-hour is dropping on you hard. Really wants to take us down. I've been following you on YouTube since before most of these people knew about you. Now I just joined the trading group about a week ago and super happy. Wish I did earlier. Thank you, Sam. Dave MC. I've been following you on YouTube since before most of these people knew about you. Dave, I love you. God bless you, man. I appreciate it. Bitcoin dumping more. Notorious Sid. I just answered your question. If you ask again, you will be silenced. That's annoying. Believe me when I tell you, stay away from Ben. Wouldn't, yikes. Anyway, we're watching this descending triangle move to the downside. All right. Now you're going to have to move it to a deep buy wallet. Yeah, to a MetaMask. Yeah, to a DeFi wallet. Deep buy wallet. You're funny. A deep buy. You guys must be using voice text, right? Just 2 days in the 99 trading group has completely changed my mentality on how I trade. Dude, 2 days in the 99 group has completely changed his mentality on how to trade. God bless you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that, right? And remember, you see me losing a trade. I do not win every trade. It's been like 2 weeks since I had to even say I lost anything, though. We've been nailing it, so we've been hitting it awesomely for a while. And when I'm wrong, I'm usually wrong very small. Like, it's not like that was a little dumb, but it wasn't like I said the long when Bitcoin had a massive pump to the upside. A short, best 99 a month I could think of spending. Timmy313, thank you so much for saying that. Bitcoin will see 10,000 eventually. I mean, if you believe whatever you say is possible, but I mean, who knows, man? All right. I take it one day at a time, man. You don't want to make those outlandish statements. Smash the like, bottom guys. Richard, are you vacuuming? I guess he's cleaning. I don't know, Tommy boy. Richard, are you vacuuming? My wife, are you vacuuming, babe? No. She said no. So no. I don't know. Someone asked me that. Never a loss, just learning. Exactly. I'm new to the channel in crypto. Are you still using Ledger after, or would you recommend? I use Trezor. I never really was a Ledger guy. I never liked the clicking on the side. I never liked clicking Ledger, the buttons on Ledger. They really got to me. I found it really annoying. I'm serious. Because you know how many times I was like trying to get into something and I would click and click. It was just annoying, man. So everybody sign up to MEXC today. I'm telling you right now, 0 spot maker and taker fees. I tell this story. You guys are sick of hearing it. But even when I tell it, I feel good about telling it. About $5,000 worth of Bitcoin on Binance US. One day I was in a rush. I forgot that you send your USD and you actually make a trade. I hit the buy button. They charged me like, I think $250 or something. And then they also added to the price. Like the price was $25.8 and I paid like $26.2. Had I bought the US Tether right there, sent the Tether to MEXC, bought the Bitcoin, I could have sent it back to US or I could have sent it to my hardware wallet. It doesn't have to sit here. But I would have paid 0 spot maker and taker fees just to buy that Bitcoin, right? They would have let me use this exchange and never pay a fee for it. So, I mean, I like things that work. And what I love about it is you don't have to keep money here. You do not have to keep money on the wallets and the exchange. You don't have to do any of that. My Trezor lands today. Thank you for putting me on, Sammy. And I have a link to the Trezor in the description of all my videos. Get yourself a hardware wallet today. I'm telling you right now. What do you think about the BLZ chart? Mohammed Musa. Let's take a look at that. And the short should be starting to fall now. We should be in the green at this point. Yeah, we're in the green now on the short. Let's see what happens. All right. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I have BOOKMAP up, and so I'm taking a lot of my network to do that. What was that? Oh, my God. Oh, it sounded like glass. Okay, so LPT inside of a bit of a flag. I'm at my mom's house, just in case you hear the music. I'm not in my home studio. I'm traveling. I'm not a day trader per se, but I come and watch because of the energy and the great insights. Been watching since I was on your Crypto Blood, a.k.a. I Hate Crypto. Shout out to my man. Thank you for being here. Drum set going off. I know, right? You guys are funny. Shout out to all the new people on the live. We've had a lot of new people here. I really appreciate all the new people jumping on in. It means the world to me. And you're all amazing people. I hope I think you all know that, but I'm just I feel blessed to have gotten my energy and my discipline up to attract the right type of people into my life, so Lena doing well, balancing the Bitcoin loss. Yeah, and it sucks, man. I want to be right every single day. I was off this one time, but we had a stop loss, right here because of the collab with Andy. Shout out to Jabroni, man. Jabroni, I love that. You Jabroni, you're the man, dude. Are you from Philly? No bromance, man. There's multiple videos of Trezor hacks, including recovering seed phrases off of locked Trezors. Yeah, but they only recover the seed phrase if you don't make a secondary seed phrase inside. If you make a secondary seed phrase, then that makes that obsolete, and I've researched that, actually. So as long as you make a seed phrase inside after you use the initial seed phrase, very, very hard. Again, man, that's a physical attack. Yeah. We're just as blessed to have you, Lifer, man. Shout out to Shinobi Spirit Soul, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you for being here. And every single day. All right. every single day ticker. When I don't block the, you know, we're going to remove the ticker soon. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the comments here? I'm going to remove the price ticker, tip ticker. What if there was no crypto ticker? How would you feel? Does it bother you? Do you even look at it? You know what I mean? Like, what if it was just the charts all the way down? Or we were going to have a little bit of a banner around us. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys think? Put a 1 if you want the ticker. Put a 2 if you don't want the ticker. We'll say it again. Put a 1 if you like the ticker here. Put a 2 if you do not want the ticker. I want to see how many 1s or 2s come up. If we get more 2s, we will not put the ticker out anymore. You guys are in control. You are in control of the show. It's a predominantly 2. We got a couple 1s. Oh, my sweetie. Is someone talking to you wrong? Is someone talking to you wrong? Huh? Someone talking to you wrong?
She's a tattletale. You're a freaking I swear to God, these girls.
Shayna, don't let mommy hurt you like that, baby. Nah, it's just, my wife didn't. All right, so,
leave me alone.
Babe, they don't like this ticker in the bottom. They think it's garbage. They say it's a waste of time.
Didn't we all agree to that? Like, why are we revisiting?
It's done, huh?
It's done. I don't know why you...
It's over.
No, you get connected to everything.
I do. I can't stop once I do something. I have to.
I know.
It's like I'm stuck.
I know.
But if my people say no, then they say no. I see way more 2s out here. Can I get more votes than this, though? I want more votes. This is a small minority of the entire show.
The people that voted are the people that care, so give them what they want.
Wow. You sound sexy when you talk like that. Get ready to close that short. You're funny, man. So we didn't get too much back, but we did get some money back on the short. Not enough, though. You know, 7% up on that short. And I mean, that's about to drop, right? I mean, well, actually, it's got a very strong bullish div here now. That's the kind of bullish div you really want, in my humble opinion. That's a pretty strong bullish divergence. That could be reversal. I see what he's saying. There's a chance. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP if we got the liquidations. Now, see, we need to see liquidations. This is why BOOKMAP is key once you use it every day, because you know what you want to see. Like, we got to see the liquidations. If we don't see the liquidations, it is what it is. 22,000, 88K, 569 to the 3. It's all right. We did get lower, and we did say, remember, at the end of the day, there's more down here. There's still more down here than there. Now it's pretty scant. BOOKMAP suggests that we hold the short till we get down to this big red bar. This is not red anymore. It's yellow. The biggest liquidity now is right here. BOOKMAP says to hold the shorts. BOOKMAP says don't get out of them shorts. My indication kind of says the reversal. There's a reversal divergence here, but it is very small. Yeah, 7-minute isn't even kicking in yet. Yeah, 1-minute divergence really isn't that. It's all right, but I like to use bigger time frame divergence, like at least the 5 or the 7. You know. It's weird though. All right, so I mean, and to me, it's kind of a bear flag, you know. I mean, you got a falling wedge that does break to the upside. Bitcoin was just in this, and it did break back up on the bigger time frame. It's a very strong divergence. So sketchy today, honestly. I don't see my original idea. I'm done. Until I see something that I like, I'm done for the day. You know. I'll take a small loss. I wanted that to break out. And hey, I didn't get stopped out. If we go lower, I could have saved a little bit of risk. So, we'll see. But there you go. I mean, not every trade's going to play out. I expect to get stopped out. Like, you know what I mean? Next week, I hope I can. If I'm getting stopped out, it means I'm trading. It means I'm taking on opportunity. And at one point, one of those opportunities is going to hit, right? And so that's the key, is to constantly keep grinding and don't stop. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into the news. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, all right? And sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Oh, I think it's Michelangelo for sure, man. Yeah, he was the coolest. He always ate the first slice of pizza, you know? Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did. Like, he always grabbed the pizza first. Let's go eat the pizza, bro. They made pizza they sold so much pizza. How many times do you eat pizza because of those guys? Think about it. Whoever thought a turtle would sell pizza? I mean, anything can happen if you put your mind to it. It's crazy, right? Let's take a look at what's happening here on the news real fast. I know. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I bring you the news. That's right. I bring you the news. I'm going to keep the ticker only because it's a little weird right now without it, but I'll restructure the charts. Maybe the ticker lasts one more day because I'm like traveling. I don't know if I'll go through all that, but after today. All right. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I do the show called The Crypto Lifer. And in that segment at 11:30 a.m. every single day, I do the news. Pancake swap. Let's break it down. I like to talk about decentralization, Web3, finance, and more. Today, we're going to talk about Pancake Swap, version 3 going live on Ethereum Layer 2, Linea mainnet. Linea is a big, and I believe it's going to actually, it's starting to gain more and more traction. I see the word Linea a lot, so just write that down and realize that it's something to think about. Pancake Swap v3 introduces advanced swap and liquidity provision functionalities, enabling users to trade tokens seamlessly and maximize capital efficiency. Decentralized exchange Pancake Swap version 3 expanded to the Linea mainnet, a blockchain built by Ethereum development Lab Consensus in a bid to attract new users and build revenue. Pancake Swap continues to grow. They were one of my first investments in DeFi at 40 cents or 60 cents when they would blow up to $44. Unbelievable. If you were following me, you would have learned about Pancake and seen me make those trades live or in the trading group, and you may have been privy to some of those life-changing gains that I made. Pancake Swap is amazing, and they continue to grow. They got a strong team. They're resilient, and I see them here 2, 3, 4, probably 5 years from now. Donald Trump NFTs surge after Tucker Carlson interview. As of European after hours, the Polygon-based Trump digital trading cards were selling for over 0.3 ETH, just over 215, up from 0.1 ETH at $150 last week. Prices and volumes of the Trump NFT collection surged on Thursday after an interview with media personality Tucker Carlson. As of the European afternoon, that's awesome, right? Booming. And this is good for NFTs, in my humble opinion. Anything that puts crypto in the limelight, Trump is probably one of the most Googled thing in the world, right? People want to read about it, whether you hate him or love him. He's constantly getting that attention, getting that mix. So with that being said, it's always good, in my humble opinion, if people read about, someone might not know what an NFT is, and today they might actually find out. You know what I mean? So to me, any publicity is good publicity. DEX aggregator 1inch goes live on Coinbase Base Network. Interesting, 1inch Network is integrated with Base, the layer 2 Ethereum scaling solution incubated by Coinbase. The expansion will aggregate liquidity across various decentralized exchanges on the network. It's weird, though. I remember getting kicked off of 1inch because I couldn't use it. Like, they were doing, IP track. I don't know, man. It was kind of weird. I thought they were decentralized, and then there was a time where you couldn't use it. Now you can use it with Base. I'm a little confused. But I've been using 1inch for a long time. I like 1inch. It's an aggregator. It would help us get some really good prices back when DeFi really first came out. I like the logo too. They just steal a unicorn, but it's a stronger, cool looking unicorn. But the name is also interesting, 1inch. You just need a 1inch. You just need a little. But I'm very familiar with 1inch. It was a long-term hold for me. We took it from $1 to about 4 or 5, and then eventually would collapse. But 1inch, interesting coin, interesting network. They've been around for a long time. I don't see them going anywhere. Trading-wise, they're not the best, and there you go. Polygon CLO challenges the SEC unregistered security designations, all right? And crypto NFL game scores millions of downloads. Full gameplay going live. So there's a cool crypto NFL game, and mad people are jumping on into it. A lot of people are like that. Millions of mobile gamers download a blockchain unicorn mythical games mobile NFL Rivals. I kept hearing about that too. NFL Rivals, NFL Rivals. A crypto NFL game. NFL and crypto now. So more and more stuff happening. Boom. And Smart Money seems to be increasing their DYDX token holdings. It's also been something we've been trading, and I have a setup on it that looks quite promising. DYDX. Everyone, that is the news. Come to my live stream every single day, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m., where I give you the hottest topics, the awesomest charts, and the best Bitcoin updates. Also live trades, if not every day, but and I also post all, a setup here and there to show you what you would get if you're in my trading group, as we trade constantly in there all around the world. Everyone, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next news segment. All right, and let's get back into brass tacks here with the live. 11:39, baby. 11:39. I keep covering the ticker today anyway. It was kind of an omen. You know what I mean? That it was time. It was time. So Bitcoin getting flat, making a very strong bullish div now on the one. But it's just, what does that give us? At the end of the day, it's got to deliver, right? And it can't seem to get back above the zone. Eventually, it'll make a symmetrical triangle. And eventually, that'll be its decision. And we'll watch it here. So, in my mind, it was a descending that kind of broke down already. And you're making a flag. The divergence suggests you can get a nice bounce to the upside. But because we lost key levels because we lost this major key level here, see that? It's like, how could you lose that previous resistance? That was so hard to break after a major dump. But again, and then if we get back inside this pattern, there's a chance you drop the length, you have to take this into consideration. And we will end up falling further to the downside here. Like all the way down to here. So just watch that very carefully. Be careful. At 24,869 would be the next, you'd hit the wick, and then your measured move is the high 24s. But that's, that's only if we break back inside this trend and start to drop down here. So I'm just not saying that's going on. We'd have to break back inside the pattern first. 26 seems to be holding here. Can we get the bounce? And the smaller time frames are boring to watch, right? There you go. There's the divergence. So now the divergence is kicking in. Boom, right? My short would have went back to break even anyway. See that? It's a good sign we could get a reversal with the divergence back to the upside. I don't like trading low volume Thursday afternoon shop though, after it's already shown me, I am DCAing, don't get me wrong. I'll be buying Bitcoin at these levels. Might as well do it right now, and just to show you that I love to do it. So here, and also show you how to use MEXC. So if you want to trade spot, right? Right now I'm on their regular, but if you wanted to trade spot, you can click this line here. Spot right here, and you would click on spot. It would take you to spot trading. All right. And whether we go lower or higher, I believe it's a good time to buy $500. Like, I'll buy $500 of Bitcoin almost every other day. You know what I mean? Just remind myself to stay in the game. Just consistently keep buying it. Next thing you know, you get $10,000. Like, how much do I just keep gaining in the wallet, and then eventually I get rid of it. So right now, like, I got 10K of Bitcoin in here, I don't know how I just keep buying it. I just keep buying it. I don't really stress. I just want more and more. 20, 30 Bitcoins. I mean, if you end up getting 20 to 30 Bitcoins, believe you me, most of the world I don't think will have the guts to do that. I'm going to round to that 17, 13 and just take that chunk off. I'm going to be greedy for my future self. Right? And let's hope that order fills at one point. All right? And I still have that 18 grand. Remember, that's all the winnings and all the money from Caspa. And I'm still waiting to get back into Casper. You know, I have not decided that it's time to get back in yet. Now Bitcoin, look, resistance, clean resistance at 26,138. You need to break that, or you will have more downside. Clear as day. You know, if you can't break above this level, you will have more downside. That's now your resistance. And you can see just slow chop price action. Again, BOOKMAP suggests you go lower. BOOKMAP says we stay in the shorts and we go lower. That's what it says. You do whatever makes you happy. My system and strategy, which is BOOKMAPing this together, says that we will probably go lower to the high, to the 25.8 at least, and we'll go from there. All right. I'm going to leave Bitcoin alone because I can go back and forth all day long. My system and everything else says that we continue lower and we will see 25.8 later on today. And I'm going to leave it there as that. I've said it. I've put myself out there, and I did flip short. I was long this morning. I did flip short. All right. 4 hours, but I also knew that the 4 hour was not in our favor. So I knew it was high risk to trade against the 4 hour. It was what it was. You know, so I took that shot. I took the shot. All right. NAKA, let's take a look at Nakamoto Games. It's been on my radar for a while. Let me just jump back into the chat. I have not engaged with the chat in a second. It's what happens when Bitcoin gets crazy. Super chats, Bitcoin bull run prediction, thoughts on JASMY and SEI and BLZ. Oh yeah, I want to look at BLZ too. Thank you for bringing that up. So NAKA's been a strong coin compared to most. It's in this falling wedge, wants to bounce back to the upside. 4 hour also, though, came up, got a spike, and just came right back down. We didn't really get much love there. So not amazing for NAKA. All right. 6 hour headed to the oversold. We're hanging on with this higher low. We break that low. Expect NAKA to start making a bit of a falling wedge and get out of this market structure that it's in. So it's kind of hanging on by a thread here, but it is making one higher low. Can it break up or at least consolidate tighter inside of this triangle for a bigger move to the upside? Still on my radar. I have not entered the trade yet. I'm watching it closely. I'd like to see it come up, come down, and really get tight in here. That's where I would like to enter the trade if I can see some real tightness near my blue line. Been in the trading group for a week now. Not just about the gains, but the knowledge as well. Appreciate Sam and all the lifers. Shout out to Keith Canone. God bless you for being in the group, man. I love you, man. Thank you. Cask is held up on that 3.8 trend line. Not looking great. That's what I see. I have, I have orders just set under 3C. Yeah. New subscriber here is Cass in a head and shoulders. I have it possibly going into the 200 DMA. Please, thank you. We'll take a look at Cass because it's one of my favorites. So we will look at it. Let's take a look at JASMY, SEI, and BLZ. Shout out to everybody here on the chat. I appreciate you all for being here. JASMY, baby, JASMY. I used to say it all the time because it reminds me of The Mask. I don't know. JASMY, baby, JASMY. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. My best impression, man. Somebody stop me. We used to do this all the way back. Stephen Curry from downtown, all the way from downtown. I've never seen it like that. He did a double lip sloopy lip. He did a double scoopy lip around the world bang out all the way into the whole smash and grab. Unbelievable. I haven't seen that since 1985. I was eating a hot dog. I used to do these funny things in the live. I haven't done those things in a while. I forget that guy. I used to be funnier, man. The bear market got me serious, right? I used to be kind of wild on the show. We used to do the Mark Wahlberg and the Peter. I haven't done Peter Griffin in so long. Hey, Lois, I think I'm going to grow a beard. Hey, Chris, go to your room before I put my foot up your ass. Everybody, we're going to leave Meg at the gas station. No, we're not doing that anymore. I actually love Meg. I don't know why for years we always did that. You know? Did I end the stream? I almost ended the stream. It got really close. I hope I didn't. So JASMY in this falling wedge with a slight higher low coming for that double bottom. You know, the supply changed on JASMY. Something was weird there. Ever since then, it threw me off. And it kind of became something I didn't want to hold anymore. It does have a Samsung connection or a Sony connection. I think Sony, right? And some of the people that were behind that company are behind JASMY. It should be big over time, but, you know, the bigger time frame suggests you can't get a pump back to the upside here. suggesting that the 3-day may even get a move. You're oversold. You've got triple bottoms. How much more people can sell it off? If you believe in the project, great place to jump on in my humble opinion. And it can even get that pump back up to the 200 SMA. But again, it's high risk because what if it loses this level and it goes to zero? What if something happens? What if nobody cares about it? But it's got some substantial following. I believe it will be around. Not my favorite coin, but the 3-day suggests it can get a break to the upside. And you're at a very low value area, which is a very good price to buy, you know. There isn't enough for everyone to have one ever. Cheapest way to send XLM or BNB to MEXC, then convert it. Okay. How do you get USDC to MEXC? Anyone. The cheapest way is to send XLM or BNB to MEXC and then convert it. Yeah, Litecoin's also really quick. You know. Let's take a look at SEI, my man. And I'm sorry, he's probably long gone from the stream. He can't stay. I just lost him. You know, it's funny. Every day you could, you never know. You never know. But when you put yourself out there, it is what it is. So someone was like, SEI is pumping today. Or are they talking about SUI? I don't know. But this thing was the talk of the town. Seems like it's just getting dumped on. Seems like Bitcoin wants to just sit at 26,060 all day long today, you know. So look, it's hugging this trend line. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Hitting these levels too, getting tight. But to me, it's likely to fall. I mean, this thing looks gross. I guess rounded bottoms pay the bills. It's starting to round out, but oversold in the one. Doesn't have enough information for really any other time frame on MEXC. It's really early on MEXC. Honestly, there's no way of telling if this will go lower. You have your bottom. Does it double bottom? It's kind of a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, right? Very sketchy. Tiny coin, not a lot of info. You know, if anything, it looks like you could possibly scalp it out of this falling wedge to the upside. Possibly. And I say that cautiously. I wouldn't touch this till it broke back above this resistance and hit it with the retest. Like Bitcoin did that today, but it lost the retest. Like Bitcoin should have done a beautiful breakout and it was going to everything was looking great. The traditional setup was there and they knew everyone was going to take the traditional setup. However, I will tell you that the other day the traditional setup was there and it was easy short 29.5, short 29.250, and they didn't go get the shorts above there. They let us win. So you never know when you're going to be able to win the easy short. So you don't beat yourself up like, oh, it was retail and I got stopped out. But like, I've seen that play out. I just trade the TA. I separate all the nonsense and just trade the TA, you know. So if you're in this channel, you just keep channeling sideways here for Bitcoin. You do continuously make a divergence here if you continue this downtrend while the RSI continues an uptrend. Somewhat of a good sign. Did you get a 5? You know, you want to see if this can trickle down to the bigger time frame. Yeah, so now you got a 5-minute divergence. See, that could give us our end point, and then we want to see liquidations into like the red marker. We got them, but there's still this big zone here at 25,300. We're getting closer. We're getting liquidations, but I mean, you still got a major area down there. BOOKMAP still says 25.5 is the way. You know what I mean? And there you go. I mean, look at the dumpage now. But it was supposed to come down to the bottom of this channel. It's going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Someone's range trading this right now, probably made a boatload. They bought and sold the whole zone. Just keep reminding yourself, like, you got to break back above 26,100 now. And remember, when you lose 26,000, that's substantial. And if this drops, it drops straight down. You'll be at 25.8 before you know it. That short would have played out. But again, like I usually trade my trade. I either get stopped out or not, and then I come back and reconvene. I was getting crazy. See, I was starting to get kind of like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. And like, that's where your trading starts to get out of control, you know? And I'm not beating myself up like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I was a man of my word. I'm so happy that I got stopped out in front of people publicly. Like, I'm not afraid. Because the key is that I wasn't afraid to live trade and show you guys what happened. And now if I hit all my trades and I wanted to show like I won, then I would have something to worry about, because that would mean I'm kind of a weird person, you know? And I'd have to have a long talk with myself later on today. So honestly, when I ask who I am and what I did today, I'm proud of it, because I stuck to my situation. I stuck to what I was doing. And, you know, no matter how many people saw it, I was real about it. And honestly, I think you earn more respect doing that, you know, than trying to look like the man all the time. All right. Brick is strong, real world assets. Funny, I mean, it is. You got to think about Brick. Being connected to Fortnite is huge for any coin. I mean, that's just a big deal. Let's take a look at our fear and greed index and see what's happening. It's sitting at 41, higher than yesterday, but I feel more fear. Sometimes this thing is off, you know what I mean? BLZ and RUNE. Oh, yeah, we got to look at BLZ and RUNE. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's take a look at our baby RUNE. It was awesome to short. The 4-hour was in a falling wedge, coming back to the upside. If I can see him in my memory here. Here it is. And then wow, what a perfect short for RUNE further down to 147. It did get to 154. Wow. And that's the short. Honestly, that short, because the daily was amazing, I just didn't have the patience. I got to learn. I can swing trade on the page. I don't have patience with the leverage trades. But honestly, I remember when I opened the short on the daily, it told me just to keep the short open. That short would be up like 300% by now. It would be up so much, because we were trading. I think I was trading 20x. Yeah, at 10x, it was 190%, right? And so, yeah, it would have been up like 400% almost, you know, like solid trade. And the short, and that's, look, just trade the daily and don't look at anything else. But like, again, like as the trade goes back up and you're up and you almost lose all the gains that you had. So I was down here, and when it even started coming up a little bit, I closed the trade. I didn't look at it again, but then it presented a new theory. So now getting back into a long, I wouldn't really take a long till we tussle with the 618 fib, which tells me we'll probably get a bounce, and then there might be a nice short coming back again here. So I'll look at the 4-hour, and then I start looking at my smaller time frames. And again, it probably won't be that broad. That's my projection at the beginning. But yeah, we shorted this kind of double top rising wedge on RUNE and made massive gains. Whole group was just buttered up. And now look, the 21 far away from the 200. You got to come back. You got to come back. You pull the fib. You're coming somewhere down to the 618. Suggested the short will go lower. D-shovels your pay with the option you have selected. Debit card fees, bank account, no fees. 14 million Joule to the upside. Also, the daily is 27.4. Here we come. Funny, you trade the Joule like with Eric Crown. That's using a check to onboard. Instant access if you use a credit card. Yeah, super chats, Bitcoin Bull Run, and BLZ. Let's take a look at BLZ. One thing I do want to look at is a big projection that I saw recently that I haven't shared with everybody else, and that would be very interesting. So we'll do that too as well. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May they treat their debit card holder different. I'm on ramp instantly. Only costs 0.8 cents to send on Matic. Off ramp shows in my bank account after hours. Shout out to Fred Fibonacci in the house. So we talked about BLZ making a move, and we got a little bit of a gain. But now it's getting pretty extended. So let's talk about it. It's definitely eventually going to make a bearish div on a bigger time frame, because it's just continuing. Now the daily is getting overbought, and you're far away from the 21-day moving average, which tells me that to continue, you're going to have to do one of two things. You're going to have to consolidate sideways or up or down. Right? One of these two things is going to have to be the consolidation. Okay? Yes, sweetheart. Okay, baby. Hold me, baby. Hold me.
I'm going to the beach.
You want to go to the beach? You smell like suntan lotion, so I guess so.
Daddy.
Okay, you told me what you wanted to do.
Daddy, I have some.
I know, I love you. You're so pretty. My kids just, I sat and held them both and cried. I put both their heads next to me. I held them this morning, and I cried my eyes out like a baby. And my daughter said, what are you crying? I said, because I am so blessed to have you in my life, Summer. I said, I am so blessed to have you in my life. I said, you are absolutely amazing. You know? They just want to see how, they want to really stretch out this liquidation, in my humble opinion. There wasn't enough, so they need to, like, kind of play around. Family is everything, man. Beach time for baby lifer. I use Bitmart with MoonPay to onboard because Coinbase doesn't take biz debit cards. My 7-year-old mom has a CB card to get 0 fee UBZ buys too. Funny. No bull div on the 5-minute. Yeah, that's bullish div. Swinging up while that swings down. That's bullish div. Even this indicator called it. That's technically where we should be longing. We should be longing into that liquidation. I just, BOOKMAP telling me there's a bigger order down there telling me to, I don't like it. I don't like it. Says we come up, probably get rejected, make some type of flag, and we dump again, you know. Gotta learn. I got rained out today, so I'm stoked to be at home with my family and 2 boys. Family is everything. That's so nice, man. When you unexpectedly get to chill with your kids and you didn't know, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So BLZ, I would expect a down, some type of down, some, you know, and then look, swing up to swing up, swing down. That's a bearish divergence. So I would expect to move to the downside here on BLZ. We take a look at the 4-hour time frame, and the 4-hour says, hey, we could get one more move. But in your mind, you just have to know you are trading against the daily. So I tell everyone, I've seen both things happen. I've seen the flag play out. I've seen it dump. And you're also fighting a strong bearish div, and you got yourself a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. I'd wait for this 4-hour to come up on the Stokes. If we come up and we bearish retest here, and then look what you're going to make. A shoulder, a head, possible right shoulder. BLZ looks like we could take a nice short to the downside tonight. I'm going to keep this on the radar for a short, and we'll keep us an alert here. And, yeah, I mean, it's been pumping beautifully. What happens when something pumps beautifully? It gets sold off, right? Let's take advantage of that sell-off and see if we get a short. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I see do and say should be taken as financial advice. But maybe I just put BLZ on your radar. Then you can use the education that you learn from me or anywhere else and see if it works. We seem to be mainly just ranging between 22 and 25.8 for a few days. Popped out, then back in again. Yeah, but we were able to figure it out. It's going down, you know. BOOKMAP suggests we're going lower. The 1 minute says we go lower, you know. Strong divergence here, though, suggests we could finally get the bounce. I'm getting such mixed signals, and it's low liquidity on a Thursday. I'm going to leave the market alone for a couple hours and let it rest, you know what I mean? And come back to it with a fresh mind. I believe that's the best thing to do sometimes. I'm being dead honest, you know. Super Chat's Bitcoin bull run prediction. Oh, yeah, I just want to show you this one last thing on Bitcoin, maybe on the all-time, or BLX. The BLX, which I haven't used in a long time. The Brave New Liquid Index. And there's 2 BLXs. I use the BNC because I don't think it has the gaps. Yeah. So this is an interesting concept. And this makes sense.
Summer, you want me to look downstairs?
Yes, help, please, help.
We're just consolidating, right? And we could easily just, you know. And that kind of, it's funny. I'll show you something interesting. And we're talking $100,000 Bitcoin, right? And that date is, that's way too late. It's 2027. So it would have to be a little more vertical. Like this line is more vertical too. Still, why does it go so late? Hold on. So that makes more sense. Maybe by February 2026, 2 years after the halving. And I don't know how to time that, but, and what I want to show you is this. If we go back in time, all right. So like right around here. It's kind of similar to where we're at, you know. And I started drawing this. And very similar to what we're doing now. And I could see the path to 30K back then. 27,000 was a lot of time. And so, boom, you know what I mean? So, and so it won't be the first time I did what I just did now. We've done it before. This is really what put me on the map. If you go back to my channel, 2019, in September, when I started the channel, September of 2019, and then that whole year throughout the 2020s, I'm drawing this and predicting a big move for Bitcoin, and then people saw the big move. So, this ain't my first rodeo. Just because I lost my trade today doesn't mean that I haven't seen bigger ideas. But it's cool to be vulnerable, man. I believe. Plumber, if I use PayPal, I only have 1K limit. Yeah. LPT getting that love right now. Yeah, look at that. But it's still just consolidating. It's overbought on the 1 hour. Just be careful. 15-minute may get it a little pump. I don't like the bearish div there, you know? I'd let it consolidate on the 1 hour personally. It needs to touch the 21 before, and my system says wait for it to touch the 21. Okay, and anything could happen. You have to remember that, but I'd wait it out and stay patient, right? Can you look at Caspa, please, brother? Oh, yeah. My one last one. On MEXC here. So, I mean, yeah, I see the head and shoulder pattern clear as day. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. I see the 21 really far away from the 200 SMA. That's usually a downtrend, right? Like kind of here on this curve. You're curving. Whenever the 21's curving and you're really far away from the 200, you're going to come down, likely to the 200. So, and I got my fibs drawn, and I'm just waiting. And then the retest areas of support and resistance are here and here. Chance we could maybe bounce there, but in my mind, you're coming down to the 200 SMA. You're coming into the 618. I'm not touching Caspa until we get to 3 cents, maybe even 2.5. Somewhere in this pocket is my buyback zone. And I'll be able to buy so much more back. I sold about, if I find the Caspa sell, right? It shouldn't be that long ago. I guess I do more trading than I realize. Oh yeah, it has all the. Hold on. Where's the Caspa sell? There it is. But I sold 4444. I saw I sold 43. I sold 44. Not bad. Anyway, I know it was 308,000 Caspa. All All right, whatever. So the idea is how much, let me go to the calculator real quick. Because I got to do this anyway, so it's good that I do it with each and every one of you. Because my back and eyes hurt. I have to take a break. I might have added more, though, at one point. It could have been about 350,000. I just want to see if I divide 350,000, or if I times it by Casper at 0.03, even 1, let's just say. So I only have to spend 10K to get my Casper back, and I'll have 8K, you know what I mean? And I could either double. What I'll likely do is put like 12,000 back in and get my 500,000 Casper. But then I'll have 8K in profit. Pretty awesome, to do whatever I want. So 824 RIP to Colby, man. I feel you. I feel you on that. So Bitcoin flat. It loves 2660. It's starting to get the bounce, but it's done this before on the divergence. It's got a nice divergence here, finally tracked in. That should be your bottom for the day on low volume, but no guarantees. If we can break this resistance and maybe bounce, there could be a possible play at 26,200 for Bitcoin, right? Right now, I'm stuck on the small time frames. I'll have to clean this up and do an update for everybody later on, which I will do. So just look out for that, and I'll keep you guys posted. May God bless everybody in the trading group, everyone that came to the live stream. Thank you for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. God bless you all, and I appreciate you for being here. Stay strong, and I'll catch you tomorrow on the next live. Thank you for being here. I love you all. This is the tie my dad bought. When I wear it, there's like a spiritual feeling there. My dad went into the store and purchased this tie himself. It's his tie. Like, it still has his ideas, his thoughts, his mindset. Like, he bought this tie, and I inherited this tie. So whenever I wear it, which I think I've worn it 8 or 9 times since my dad has passed, it looks great. So rest in peace to my father, man. I love wearing your tie, Dad. I love you, brother. You'll be my brother for life. Ain't nobody like you, man. Man, I love you, brother. I miss his hand on my hand. The strong shake we gave each other. A son and a father. I love you all. God bless. Cherish your loved ones.